Sanke. For you, coffee.
I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
All right,
Yeah.
welcome to MMA Underground. Got
What's
Buddy
up,
V,
man?
Sonke, SteetBeefs West Coast on Nogi, and BKFC's on Kai Stewart.
How's it going, guys? I'm glad to be here for my second time. You guys are fun as fuck.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you on, bro. Glad to have you on.
Hey, Nogi, you doing good over there too?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good.
There you go. Oh, okay. All right. Saw a little shadow. All right. See some face. All
There
right.
we go.
Post light
I
action.
see some teeth. He's there.
I'm a little quiet.
Before we get started, I have to ask Kai, man, like I've been dying to ask you. In your fight with Rusty Crowder, this was your third fight, but it was in BKFC, but your first fight taking damage. Oh my goodness. Oh, my heart was going. What was going through your mind when you you got your eyebrow busted? Did the boosters kind of go on? I mean, how did you feel?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I noticed it and I was like, ah, shit, that's early.
Is that me?
What happened? Are we good?
I got you were lagging for a minute. That's
There. A little choppy.
Oops. Well, anyway, that it kind of motivated me to go harder, and it didn't affect me crazy. The blood went perfect down my nose, so there was nothing in my eye. Like I was ready to go 5 rounds, and I told everybody that. And I'm just thankful I got the job done with no doctor stopping in because that was a pretty deep cut. And as you can tell, like I still have a huge scar here. Like the stitch job honestly was subpar. I have to tell you, like I see some people with huge gashes in their face and they're fine and no scarring. And then there's me, first time ever in my fight career. And it's a permanent, like big deal.
Hey, it's like a badge of honor, right? Yeah, right there.
Pretty
Bang.
much, since I couldn't get good cauliflower ears, so I guess I get scars on the face.
Fair enough.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
like Buddy said, that's just a badge of honor, man. People see it, they know not to fuck with you.
Hell yeah. I went around college campus because school started. I was on campus with just this big old black eye with a big old like black stitching going down my face, and it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
Well, I was actually looking up a few of your fights earlier today because I wasn't too familiar with the name. And man, you got some hands, bro. You got some serious hands. And I saw you can wrestle too, man. You got some wrestling under your belt.
Yeah, wrestling is my favorite. I've been wrestling since I was 4 years old, like 18 years now. And I kind of had to be done with the college wrestling circuit because I'm a professional athlete now. It's heartbreaking that wrestling's over, but it's not technically over because I think I'm going to go back to MMA for a bit until things get figured out with BKFC. But I mean, I'm only using a third of my craft. Like I'm not using my legs, I'm not using my groundwork. I'm using my hands and bare knuckle, and it's fair for my opponents, but it's like. I'd rather just be able to beat somebody up wherever I wanted, and I can control a pace a lot better going up and down other than just staying on the feet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You want to use all your weapons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Think of it as I'm a gamer, so think of it as a video game. You always have to do the side quests to get stronger, right? So
exactly, yeah.
And now they owe me a title fight. That's one thing that I wanted to announce on this podcast and make sure it gets spread around that they owe me a title fight. and they offered me Howard Davis, and it wasn't for a title fight. So I said, no, you guys owe me a title fight.
Yeah, he was champ. You were number one.
Yeah. So prior to my fight, they said with Rusty, they offered to both Rusty and I that it's a number one contender fight. So then fast forward to now, we're waiting for a title fight, and then all of a sudden it's, oh yeah, that the Howard Davis fight won't be for a title. I'm like, how? It's literally a vacant belt with the number one and the number two guy both willing to be good champions, great champions. So it's like, I don't know, they're playing games, so I'm gonna go do my own thing until they're ready. Matchmaker did say if you want to go do your own thing, if he wants to wait for his title shot, I mean, I have it in writing, so we'll see.
Yeah. Can't go back on that. Yeah. I mean, you're a straight
thank you, bro, for
Just
handling.
like wait, what?
Go ahead, buddy.
So I was gonna say he's a beast in the cage, just like Nogi too. And I love having killers on at the exact same time too. Because what, Nogi, you're on a 3-win streak right now, right?
Yeah, I was, man. I just took an L this last weekend, but yeah, it was, man.
I didn't see that fight quite yet. Oh, me. All right.
Yeah, he'll be in for a surprise for sure.
Damn.
Hey, it was a war, bro. That fight was a war.
Through Street Beefs?
Yeah.
Street Beefs.
West Coast.
He's West Coast.
Is Street Beefs at all commissioned, or no? Is it just fucking people? Oh, so y'all just show up and fight?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's like a big smoker show for the most part. You show up and get matched up there day of.
Do they pay fighters, or like how does that work?
It's all volunteer, bro. It's all volunteer from the staff to the fighters.
Just want to come fight.
Yes, sir.
We come out, we fight, we love it. Some people have gone pro from Street Beefs. Some people use it as a stepping stone. Like during COVID, there was a few people who couldn't get fights, so they came out to Street Beefs. They were able to hone their craft a little bit more, then go back out. And for some other people, we fight.
That's wild. Yeah, I've watched quite a few of the videos on YouTube of Street Beefs, and they always pop up, and I'm like, there's some tough people in there, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, this guy right here that's on the show with us, Nogi. He's nice, bro. He's definitely somebody you want to look up.
Appreciate
he's one of our rising stars, I would say, on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So where all does West Coast have events? Like what do they do?
West Coast events are usually in Nevada. But we've had a few in Arizona, for like the bigger events. I think the last anniversary, or actually, the last anniversary event was out there. It was major. We had a bunch of fights, bangers. But yeah, man, I just wanted to tell you earlier. I like how you're not folding to the powers that be. So oftentimes we see fighters, they get pushed into a corner and they go down a certain route that they don't necessarily themselves want to go. And respect to you for standing your ground and saying, hey, this is what I deserve, this is what I'm going to do.
And that's where I feel going into this sport, I had a big advantage. I'm just like BKFC was my pro debut. I'm 3 fights into my pro career now, and most people in BKFC had no choice. They had no choice. And the person that allegedly is fighting Howard Davis now, that Louis Lopez dude, he's 0-3 MMA. He's 0-3 MMA and keeps calling me out. And I'm like, bro, you were forced into BKFC. I'm here on a side quest. You're not on my level, I promise. But that's why I'm able to stand my ground, is because in my head, because I know how hard I work, I know where I'm at, and I feel that I have a great progression, that I'm going to be a UFC, at least in the UFC, but my goal is set on a UFC championship one day. And so that's my advantage. Like, I'm willing to come in and win that title. I'll defend it as many times as I need to. But if they're not going to fulfill their promise, I'm just going to go do the sport I originally was set out to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'm – wait, what?
I was like, so does that mean you're about to just come out and you're gonna go back to MMA for a little bit?
Yeah. We're looking at early December. We're waiting for the contract to be signed, so no big announcement yet. But my goal is to go 3-0 in 3 months. December, January, February. I'm 3-0, number one contender in the world in BKFC, and by the numbers, I have a better record and a better outing against Rusty Crowder than Howard Davis. So like I'm the front runner in 145. I'm 3-0 there. I go 3-0 in MMA with solid, dominant performances. Hopefully, Dana White Contender Series is just right there, you know. So it's like it's laid out. I just have to keep winning. That's winning talks. So.
Exactly.
What do you think the biggest benefit of being in BKFC right now is as you're trying to transition into the UFC or into like, you know, a professional MMA setting?
I originally did BKFC for a quick paycheck, and then I was like, holy shit, the guys in my division ain't nothing. So then I went forward, I moved forward, and then all of a sudden I'm the number one contender in the world. So in reality, it was a publicity thing, but now I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a great champion, but they're not allowing me to. So it's like I'm here. I did what I was asked. I took Rusty Crowder, a huge step up. I was going to fight Jack Claffey. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then like on a short notice, we switched to Rusty Crowder. So I think 3.5, maybe 4 weeks out, we switched to Rusty Crowder, and they said, this is a number one contender. Your next winner gets a title shot. So I did everything asked of me. I did my job. So I would just say the biggest thing BKFC did for me was publicity, because it is the fastest growing sport in the world. And I they're doing a lot of good and great things. But I mean, you have a number one and a number two guy with a vacant belt that both have attributes to be a good champion, great champion. So, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
A quick question, Nogi, could you ever see yourself in BKFC?
Nah, man, I like my face too much.
I feel you.
Not gonna lie, but yeah. I mean, maybe I'll try it once. I'll try one bare knuckle, but you know, a 2-minute round, real short fight.
That's where they get you.
Crazy, man.
I'll only try one. I'll only do one. Yeah.
Nogi, was your most recent fight MMA, boxing, or what?
MMA.
MMA, because I've seen some of yours, and I really like your MMA. And you know, Kai, he has a huge background in wrestling. Do you have a background in wrestling at all, or what is your? Are you a street fighter?
Yeah, I actually did high school wrestling, bro. Yeah.
Right.
But after that, I stopped, and my grappling's been a little bit poor since then. So you'll see when the video comes out.
I noticed if you don't use that wrestling, it kind of goes away. I hopped in for a round. I mean, I did well. I did very well. I didn't give up any subs, but like there was just a few holes that I didn't have before. But also, it's like I jumped in after a year of not touching a mat, and I went 3 5-minute rounds, and I was getting subs on people that are training every day, like jiu-jitsu and stuff. So, you know, I'm like. Yeah, wrestling's important though in the MMA world. If you're a wrestler, it's basically the cheat code.
Yeah, for sure. You get that real. You got a lot of top pressure. You know, you end up staying heavy on someone. You can gas them out fast. Oh yeah. It's just not touching that mat. It fucks you up a little.
We saw a lot of good wrestling and jiu-jitsu this past weekend at our event. I was pretty surprised to see a lot of ground game this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Shinigami too. Did you see Shinigami's? Of
course.
Yeah,
Out of nowhere, I found myself cornering him. You know, you know, it was something to witness, bro. Because with that fight particular, everyone was, myself included. I even told him, I said, everyone was against you, bro. No one wanted to see you win. No one thought you could win. You know, and to see someone literally take that, use it as fuel, and stand their ground, and you know, demand the dub. You know, it was something to see, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I have to ask, you know, with everybody here having straight killers on the podcast right now, you know, champ shit. what goes through your mind right before a fight as you're looking through your opponent? Because like for me, I look at my opponent's eyes and then I look through them. I start visualizing every move that I think they're gonna make first and what I think they're gonna follow up right after that. So as soon as I have my first game plan, and then I know that as soon as I have my first couple steps in, instincts take over and my training's gonna kick in, and that's all I really think about as far as right before the fight. But what about you guys?
Nogi, you go ahead first.
All right. Usually I try to get myself into like that malicious intent mindset. I just try to get myself there, you know, like it's either me or you. I gotta go through you. I gotta, you know, put you to sleep. I gotta put you out. But sometimes it's not there, you know. Sometimes you gotta figure out ways to activate that, and yeah, that's just what I try to do. I try to get myself somewhere else.
So it depends on where we're starting. Because like for my last fight, I started at weigh-ins and like not even weigh-ins, not even the mock weigh-ins. I started at right before the mock weigh-ins, the rules meeting. I looked across and I saw me and Rusty Crowder had locked eyes, and instantly I smiled and showed him the pussy sign because he's a bitch. And you know, and then coming into the cage, like I'm just a showman, man. I'm there. Like, this is my form of entertainment. If I can get into something else that doesn't require cutting weight, be my guest. But like, he walks in the cage, and y'all know that he missed weight. Not only that, the day of weigh-ins, he was 10 pounds heavier than me. He was 170. I was 160. And I look across the ring whenever he gets in, and he was bouncing, and he had bitch titties bouncing up and down. So I literally, right before my fight, you could see me go like this, and I was referencing his bitch titties.
Wow.
So that's kind of how I try to just keep it light and fun because I know what I have to do. There's no reason to put like different emotions in my head. You know what I mean? It's almost like not overthinking it. I get my mind off of the task at hand, so I don't have anxiety about the task at hand.
All right. And I mean, since you talk about weight cutting, I was curious, Nogi, in all your fights, you're looking pretty toned. Do you cut weight for your fights, or do you fight around your walk around weight?
Nah, yeah, I cut weight, man. Cut about a good like 10, 15 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little sorry. I'm like, man, I still eat too good. Oh man.
Yeah, man. I just weighed in at 128 this last time, so yeah. And then I came home, ate up, you know, rested up, hydrated up, went back up to 138.
How heavy was your opponent?
What's up?
How heavy was your opponent that day?
Oh, I think he was she was around the same weight as me. I think she weighed in like around 130, 131.
Okay.
All right. I did have a question for Kai. So you're kind of knocking down these doors. You're opening them up for yourself, walking right through. You know, you're not even taking no for an answer. What's the mindset that you have to be able to accomplish such goals?
No matter what you do, it doesn't make sense to go into it with a losing attitude. If you go into it thinking that you're the absolute shit, you're going to put in the preparation to make sure that you don't look like an absolute idiot on the MMA Underground podcast. Okay? Like, so it's just it's a wrestler mindset is what I call it. Like in a wrestling match, you're not ever going to go into a wrestling match thinking that you might lose or that you might have a chance of losing. No, you're going to go into every single wrestling match saying, this is my time. I worked harder than him, and that's just how it has to be. There's not really – that's the easiest way to describe it because, like, I've said a lot of shit. I've said a lot of shit at this point, but, I mean, I'm backing it up. I'm 3-0, doing exactly what BKFC wants. So –
Hey, man, you know, a lot of times people forget about the mindset and what's necessary before and during that fight. Mm-hmm. You know, that's something that's very major, you know, that we don't spend enough time on. You know, you got to spend almost as much time as you do physically training, you know.
Listen,
some people, you know, getting your mind right.
And being a Kai Stewart in the fight game does not get you very far unless you put your foot down and prove it to people. Like I have so much drama on fight week. I swear to God, there's zero I can do, and it's just like, why? There's no reason. Like I'm getting calls. The weigh-in fiasco. Like I was told one thing, and then 3 hours later, I get a call at the wrong time saying, "Hey, it's his weigh-in time," and I'm just like, "There's no reason for this stress. Like if you say something, follow your word." Like we made a lot of exceptions with the Rusty Crowder weigh-in, a lot of exceptions, because like he came in way over, and
He
I
was big in that fight. I'm like, dang, Rusty.
yeah, I honestly say somebody just commented first it's a sport, second it's entertainment, so you have to sell yourself because it's a business. I think it's the opposite. It's a business first, and if you're not somebody that's going to bring revenue to the table, you're at a loss. Like you really are at a loss. So,
I mean, you look at the UFC and how many fighters, the more entertaining ones sell the tickets, so they get, front row seats. They're the headliners. You got people that are on, like an 8-10 win streak, but they don't sell tickets. They're boring. They're technical, but they're boring. They're not entertaining in any way, shape, or form. They have the skills, but, like you said, it's entertainment that sells.
yeah.
Now, did either of you guys watch the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight?
So I was sitting. Fun fact: Thank you. I was sitting in a room. We had just got done commentating for Kill Eagle Promotion. Shout you guys out. You guys are awesome. But all of us fighters with a lot of fighters under our belt, a lot of coaches with a lot of fighters under their belt, we're sitting there like, oh, Anderson Silva has won these first 4 rounds, and then the unofficial scorecards come up, and we're like, they scored every round to Jake Paul. What the fuck? Like, I have to give it to him. It became a close fight whenever Anderson Silva got knocked in the end. But leading up to that knock, I clearly had Anderson Silva winning. And mind everybody, we had it literally dead split down the middle. A lot of people wanted Jake Paul to win. A lot of people had Anderson Silva to win. But not one person on the scorecards had Jake Paul winning. So I don't know.
How many rounds?
Okay, let me rephrase. We didn't have Jake Paul. Nobody had Jake Paul winning until the 8th round knock. Okay. So like after that, a lot of people were like, that's it. Like that's Dunzos.
How many rounds was that fight?
8.
8 rounds? Okay.
Yeah.
And he knocked him down in the last round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which in my opinion, the way
Oh, you breaking up, buddy.
Sorry about that. We live
Say
on a
that
different side of town now.
We didn't hear you. Say that last sentence one more time.
If I can remember what I said. Oh, according to the rules of boxing, I swear that Anderson Silva won the fight, even with the 8th round knock, a 10-8 round. Like I could have seen, like I don't know how Anderson Silva lost that fight. I don't. But then again, you have to think of show business. Anderson Silva's on his way out. Like boxing is known to be one of the most corrupt sports ever. So I'm not putting it past anybody that it was a rigged fight. I'm not putting it past, but I'm also like, Jake showed out. He didn't get finished. And just like with the O'Malley fight, you can't leave it to the judges,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing. If you don't want to go to the judges, if you want to make sure that you win, don't let it go to the judges.
Yeah.
No, if you saw the fight, what was your opinion on the fight?
Yeah, I just saw highlights of it, but I mean, Anderson still got hit a lot. They were still working a lot in the pocket. There was a lot of give and take, and well, yeah, he did get knocked. So I'm not gonna discredit Jake Paul. His performance was good. He still got in there with the fucking champion. And yeah, so that's just all I think about that one.
A fun fact about not leaving a fight to the judges. So, the summary of the fight, thrown 200. This is me versus Rusty. You know how it was a split decision?
Yeah.
I threw 238 punches, landing 65% at 156 landed. He landed 72 and threw 165 with a 43% landing rate. I had it watching it back. 2 rounds clearly. Round 1 and 2 went to Rusty, and then rounds 3 through 5 all clearly went to me. But the judge that scored the fight against me literally does like all the merch for the local gym opposite mine.
Cut it out. But the damage was on the first
This
2
is
rounds
annoying.
for all those that haven't watched the fight.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen
and
this.
but the judge that gave it to Rusty literally works for a gym that literally wants my downfall. Like they're doing everything possible ever. Like even slandering my name. There's a lot of defamation going around right now, but it's like, really, bro? And so like that's what I mean. You can't leave it to the judges because it had one more judge maybe fucked up the 5th round, like I would have lost the fight because of that one person's. But like everybody I know and everybody that I don't even know messaged me saying like that wasn't a split decision, man. You clearly won 3 rounds to 2. So I don't know. That's why I don't give it to good judges. It's so corrupt. So corrupt.
It doesn't look like you won that fight, but it was definitely your toughest fight in BKFC so far. But I mean,
Absolutely.
your first fight that you took damage. So I mean, really?
Yeah, I know. And while we're on the stats, just because they're side by side, because a lot of people said that Howard Davis starched Rusty Crowder compared to me. Howard Davis only threw 186, landing 82 at a 44% rate, and I doubled his landing rate. So it's like, yeah, the MMA math may never always add up, but just like in gaming, numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie.
Do you guys do they also count sig strikes and damage?
No, they do thrown and landed, and knockdowns. At least on this that I found. So, yeah.
All right.
I wish there was more stats. That way they could flash between rounds to limit corruption. You know, as a fighter,
that would explain a lot more for sure.
I will
Hey, but
say I
whole
absolutely
point, bro.
loved the Kansas Athletic Commission does open scoring between rounds. I loved that during my fight because, like, I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm down 2 rounds to 2 rounds to nothing going into the 3rd." So after every round, I was like, "Did I win? Did I win?" And so that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, you know, a lot of times they keep it they keep the information short so that it can aid them in, you know, an off decision. You know what I mean? You keep it as discreet as possible so that when the decision is made, they don't have to make an explanation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, there's so much, but I'm happy to be back to MMA because it's so easy just to take somebody down and choke them out. Not to mention that's Louis Lopez's 0-3 record. He got choked out in the 1st round all 3 times. Write that down.
See, since you both do MMA, I'm curious. If you could finish a fight any way, how would you finish it in your ideal scenario?
If there wasn't risk involved, I would love to go the whole entire fight and just make it a long, miserable night and just shove my hands in their faces, like elbow them, choke. Like I want it, especially if I don't like them.
Savage.
In reality, as quickly as possible is how I would. That's my ideal. Then no matter how it's done, as long as we're out of there in 30 seconds.
Make that statement.
What about you, Nogi?
Tornado kick to the face, straight KO, asleep, gone.
I like
Straight
it.
Conor McGregor.
I can figure it out the way.
I like it. Hey, I wanted to ask you, man, because we don't have, unfortunately, the phone overheated that day, and it was probably one of the most epic matches of that event. Nogi, can you talk to us about that? Your first fight with Thunder Pops that got lost.
That fight, man, that was the definition of a war. It was, back and forth, me trying to throw my bombs. I'm not really much of a kickboxer, and I took that kickboxing fight, going in expecting MMA. So, he was lighting me up with taekwondo kicks, freaking heel hook kicks, all kinds of stuff. And, well, I got hit a lot, but, I lasted those 3 rounds and I made it a banger. And like you said, too bad it overheated and everything. We lost the footage, but yeah, man, that shit I think elevated me to the level that I ended up getting to, like, as far as knockout power goes and everything like that. I started really focusing on that.
That's why I couldn't find the fight. I was like, what? I only got 3. I was like, I didn't get that one. Dang it.
Yeah, man, the phone overheated, and
Yeah.
at the time, I guess nobody was aware of it. But man, it was one hell of a fight, bro. I mean, both of these guys, they're making their debut, and they made a statement, both of them, and it was crazy because after that fight, Nogi went on a win streak. He was knocking shit down. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna travel to another yard, Nogi? You think you might come to the scrap yard down south? You gonna keep it just West Coast for now?
I've thought about it, man. It's actually like a plan of mine to fight at every branch, just to, like, be a keepsake for me, going forward in my life, because I'm a Street Beefs fan first, before I became a fighter. So I think that'd be pretty lit, actually, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So how many branches are there, and where all are they based out of?
Oh, we got 4 branches. We got Street Bees West Coast. That's basically Californians, Nevadians, Arizonians. We got the Street Beef Scrap Yard. That's the Pacific Northwest.
They're based out of Gig Harbor, Washington.
Yeah. Then we got Street Beef's Dirty South. We got the Texas guys. We got people around those states. And then the OG branch, the original branch, that's located in Virginia. And you got, the surrounding East Coast states that go there. And yeah, man, it's one big collective. We do this shit for the community. We do this to get better, to better ourselves. But it's crazy because it's almost like it's like a little family reunion every time we have an event.
That's fair. That's fair. Hell yeah.
It's pretty dope. What's up, Andrew? Lots.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I got another question for Nogi. We were talking earlier about mindsets and mentality. What goes through your head when you're looking at your opponent. And this past weekend, you had a fight, and I want to know before you get into the detail of that fight. I definitely want you to talk about that fight and your opponent specifically. But did you know who you were fighting? When did you know who you were fighting? And what went through your mind when you saw your opponent this past event?
Well, I mean, I had an inkling of who I'd fight. I always like to check people around my weight class that are going to pull up. But I honestly thought that I was going to fight, what's his face? Slim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, showing up, I saw that Slim had already fought, and everybody had done their thing. And well, I don't know, like, it was pretty surprising to me because I didn't know that Tristan was trans. And so that was kind of, like, it was a little unexpected, but nothing, too serious. And well, yeah, so like I went in there, nothing different, just like saw it as like, all right, this is another opponent. But I'd say my mindset was somewhere else just because of, how I went into it, preparing for the fight these last like couple months.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my opponent was trans. Tristan does identify as he, she, and he whooped my ass. Grappled the shit out of me.
Yeah. The way I look at it, when you get in that cage, a fighter's a fighter. Because I know that even like with some girls that have fought guys, girls, and trans, it's like the minute you step in that cage, you're a fighter. If you hone your craft, if you're good at what you do, no matter what it is, male, female, whatever, the weight class is there. If you can kick ass, you kick ass.
Yeah. And he really showcased a lot of grappling. He showcased great jiu-jitsu against me and exposed a lot of holes that were in my game. I had not been able to bend like that since high school wrestling, so that was a fucking eye opener for me too. I gotta go stretch. But yeah, it was a great fight, man.
You can only
Hey,
level up after this. You know, you see the holes in the game, and you work on that. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
and I'm curious because as we grow as people, as fighters, I want to know who kind of you guys, not necessarily even just as fighters you look up to, but who are some of your mentors that kind of help shape you as people and as fighters to keep growing forward, to keep just pushing and becoming the best that you can be. All right, sorry, yeah, sure. Want to go first, Kyle?
Yeah, you can go first.
I don't know the answer to that question. I know I have mentors, but my biggest mentor I'm just going to call it combat sports, has never fought in his life. He's never trained. He's never that. He was a college All-American wrestler, but like he's my biggest mentor in sports, from mentality to fucking fueling my ego, like all sorts of shit. Like this dude, like, so from that aspect, it's some like my coach Sears, but then from another aspect, it's like who doesn't want to be that rich fucking flashy guy like Conor McGregor? Like anybody in the sport, if you want to make money in your sport, you should be like, okay, Conor McGregor has his shit. He made it, and nobody can dispute that. Like whether he's on a huge skid or not, look how much money he's making.
Money talks.
Yeah, exactly. Money talks. So that's that's me.
Yeah. What about you, Nogi?
Well, I guess for me, it's just like being an athlete growing up. You know, like I had a lot of different mentors, a lot of coaches. You know, just training me and pushing me. You know, opening up that mentality that we keep talking about. You know, that killer mindset. Like going in and wanting to win, having that aggression, and just going balls to the wall all the time. So I'd say every coach that I've ever had is really just like a mentor to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can dig it all the way. Yeah, I was gonna ask some kid, but I think he disappeared for a sec. No.
But hey, to be honest with you, I did not expect to have to use my laptop, and it's dying. So,
fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well,
do you have anything? Do you have any like other things that you were just dying to know? Because then I can get this out of the way. We still have time. My battery's about to go.
My bad, y'all had to take a leak.
it's all good. It's all good. All right, hold on. I was gonna ask, because obviously as people grow with popularity, how do you personally deal with the haters? Because like you said, you are in college, you are a wrestler, you have a lot of people that were talking smack going into the game. You've gone proved them wrong, and everybody, even for the smallest ounce of whatever reason, will find a reason to doubt you. How do you deal with that?
Well, mostly, first I'm gonna start by assessing who the fuck it is, and if it's somebody that is an absolute nobody, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Even the haters within the game, there's a lot of grown ass men that have a big issue with me, and by a lot I mean specifically one, and I won't say his name because he's literally not good enough for his name to come out of my mouth. But from that point, like sometimes if somebody that maybe I look up to turns into a hater, I'll be all like, you know what? Did I do something? Maybe I really did like do something, but then it doesn't matter because most of the people that are talking shit are so far below me in terms of what they've done. So that's more or less how I deal with it. I try not to. I don't let anybody bother me. Like I have a lot of self-doubt, and nobody's gonna say things about me that I probably haven't said about myself, if they're true. Because 9 out of 10 things that people are gonna say that are hater things are gonna be defamation as fuck, and they have no business saying it, because it's just blatantly not true. And if it happens to be true, like for example, why didn't you knock Rusty out? You should have knocked him out. You fucking suck. I literally got that message, but I'm just all like, well, I still won. I'm still the number 1 contender in the world. So it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You can suck it.
Like, haters have no there's no bearing for it because the simple answer is, what have you done? See? The age-old question, what have you done? Oh, do you want to come to the gym? You're more than welcome to show me. like you're right, I'm wrong. You're the professional. You're the professional, not me. So there's so many answers that most of the time you just have to laugh it off and say you suck.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Nogi, have you ever dealt with backlash from fighting, and how do you deal with that?
Nah, man. Actually, nobody's really giving me too much shit about it. I've gotten the typical, like, why do you fight? You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna end up with brain damage. But it's just like shit you're gonna hear from people that are hating too on something that you're trying to be passionate about or something that you're trying to follow.
Don't people say that about smoking pot too?
Yeah,
You're gonna get brain
same
damage.
shit. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right on
So
time.
it's like haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and you just gotta ignore it. That's really all you gotta do.
So I know before your laptop dies, Kai, you want to give out any shout outs or let people know where they can find you
Well,
before you have to get off?
a new sponsor, which is my own company, but Catch a High. I don't know if you guys have seen what I've been posting, but it's a bobber grind. I don't know why I didn't have. We just recently moved to to our new apartment, so like all my stuff is still at the other place where we were living. So, but it's a fish pipe lure made out of a fishing lure, and it's a bobber grinder shaped like a grinder with a key catcher, and it comes as a little like a gift set. So that's like my new thing that I'm doing right now. Other than that, we got Native Grown, the obviously best dispensary in Montana. Get you settled in. And then my Instagram, Kai HB145, is kind of what I'm trying to build right now. Obviously, Facebook, Kai Hefty Bag Stewart. Haven't switched over to the Outcast yet because Facebook makes you wait a while before you can change your name. So I'm the Outcast, Kai Hefty Bag Stewart. I couldn't pick between the two names, so I'm just gonna pile them together,
And make them one. I'm the modern day Aztec warrior. You can make it as long as you want.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and the best part about haters is they're fitting into the Outcast nickname because I'm the Outcast of Montana MMA. Like, and it's crazy how I am. It's like I coach kids. I'm never in any trouble. You don't see me at the bars causing issues. Like, I just keep to myself, do my own thing, and apparently people fucking hate you for that.
How dare you live a good life, damn it.
I know. But anyway, thank you for having me on. Sorry I had to leave and cut it short, but I mean, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm down anytime.
Absolutely. You're going to see a rocking t-shirts this soon.
Hell yeah, I will. And on my next video game stream, I'll be sure to rock that shirt. All right. Catch you guys later. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Bro, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool dude, man. That was my first time meeting Kai.
Yeah,
I gotta.
But like I said, two beasts. Fucking Kai and Nogi, I mean, they're both very dominant in the way that they fight. I mean, I wouldn't use the word bully fully, but in the way that they fight, but their pressure is it's there.
And the crazy part about Nogi, he's not gonna say it, but this guy, every time I speak to him, very down to earth, very humble. He's one of those guys where, if you haven't seen him fight, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? You wouldn't think. You'd be like, what? This dude here? Real nice dude, man. Always respectful, but a beast in that cage.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I like to think about myself like Dr. Jekyll. But when I'm in the cage, it's Mr. Hyde. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, yeah, you go to a different place. I mean, did you fight growing up or no?
Nah, I was always a little scrappy kid, though, man. But, nah, not a lot of fighting. I always loved the UFC, though.
Right. You play football, though, I bet, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, football, soccer, baseball, track, all kinds of sports.
How did you get to Street Beefs? How did that happen?
Well, I mean, after high school, I was on an all-star cheer team. That's like what was keeping me busy, keeping me athletic. And so like I did that for a couple years, and then I ended up just hopping out. I was like, all right, I'm done with this little path. but I still needed something athletic to do. So I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? And I'm watching Street Beefs. I'm watching the OG Yard, Lil Cray Cray when he was out there fighting and stuff. All the way back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I could do this. I could really do this if I put my mind to it. And that's like about around the same time that the West Coast popped out. So I
Mm.
hopped in there right away. I hopped into the group chat and started, getting myself in there, getting myself kind of prominent before I took a fight, and then yep, just started from there.
That's how you
Nice.
kind of got to do it. I missed the first event for Scrapyard. I was there at the second event, and I can count on one hand how many events I've missed since then in the 2 years.
Shit. Damn.
It's a fan. Once you have a taste, you want to go back. I know it's a little harder for the West Coast because yes, different locations, different states, and I live, I live in the same state, and I live like an hour away, so it's like every month I know that I'm an hour, maybe an hour and a half of traffic, so I know it's different.
Yeah,
I'm,
like for me, I gotta travel
I'm in the same
really
boat as you,
far.
buddy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I don't know if I asked you earlier. So you fought in both the Smoke Ranch and the Hot Box. Which one did you like more?
Ah, it's tough. It's tough, really, because the hot box had some vibe to it. I don't know what it was, but it just felt real savage there. Um, but I don't know. I think the Smoke Ranch is a little cleaner. I kind of like how it's set up with the cage, the banners. I prefer that type of setting. But
Oh, hell yeah.
so yeah, I guess the Smoke Ranch, man.
There you go. And I mean, so we know that you're a young fighter. What are some of your goals that you see for the future? I mean, do you want to go pro yourself?
Yeah, I'm looking for that's the path that I'm on right now.
Are you talking UFC?
I mean, yeah, if the UFC would be the ultimate goal, obviously, getting there, getting to, contender status or championship, getting the belt, whatever. But if not, getting myself into that professional setting, whether it be Bellator or another type of setting, um, and then just seeing where it takes me.
Yeah. See, I like that. A fighter, well, warrior mentality, ready, down to fight whenever, wherever. Just let's go.
Yeah.
And tell the people, how old are you again?
22.
Yeah. Prime time, man. Prime
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I feel the power in my hands right now.
Yeah.
Do you have any gyms that you're looking to join full time to be able to kind of hone your craft? Do you think you might just train by yourself or with some people, or?
Yeah, so for my first 4 fights, I trained by myself. I did pretty well for that. I got myself trained up and everything, but for this last fight, I just jumped into a boxing gym, and I strictly trained boxing for about 2 months. And so honestly, I feel really good. I feel really fast, really conditioned, and I have a lot of power in my hands right now. But I think I do need to jump into another gym, like a jiu-jitsu gym or something like that. The issue is just, the availability around here from where I'm from.
Yeah, what state are you in?
Arizona.
Okay, Arizona. Yeah, nice. I see people from over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy in the chat, Lots, he's from Arizona. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys from the West Coast out there. Nice group of guys. Shout out to AZ.
Is it Moose from Arizona too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an easy boy.
Got the
Hey,
Moose.
what's crazy? I thought about it earlier. Kai looks just like Moose, just with shorter hair. If you look at them side by side, those boys look just alike. Shout out.
Right. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, shout out Moose, man. They look similar.
Yeah, let's see. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. Can you have any other questions you might want to ask him?
Yeah, I got one more. Do you see yourself going for the belt in your weight division? And also, who is an opponent that you would like to see yourself go against?
Yeah. I mean, that's been my goal since the beginning, is to get belted, whether it be 125 or 135 or both. I'm down for whatever. And honestly,
Let's hear it.
I've had
Let's hear it. We here.
Oh yeah, what you
I've
guys
had my
say?
eyes on Asian Sensation for a long time, man. I'm trying to see what Asian Sensation's got.
That's a fire fight, bro. That's a
I
Yeah.
like
fire.
his sensation. He's a good fighter.
So if
All
he's
right,
listening, this is the official call out, Asian.
I
This
like
is it.
it. I like it. But keep in mind, that man is a ground man as well.
Oh yeah, I'll see him with a ground game for sure.
Yeah, we got to tighten it up. But yeah, that's a fire fight. That's
okay. I
fire.
like to see that. I like Asian sensation.
Yeah, I think that'd be a banger too, man. We both have pretty sound skill sets.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I was curious how you got the name Nogi though, because I was curious because when I hear that I think of Nogi BJJ or something like that. So where did that come from?
Yeah, that's the little screwball that I like to throw out there because I'm actually not a jiu-jitsu specialist. So, but yeah, but so what it's from is it's from where I'm from, man. I'm from Nogales, Arizona, and we call it Nogi down here. But it's also, I don't got a gi. I have no gi, so that's also what it represents too.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's got a little double
there's
meaning.
reverse psychology in that too, because somebody might think he knows jujitsu and not fuck with him. Like,
Yeah, I
you know,
think that's what people would think, at first going into the
yeah,
fights. Is like, oh, I can't really take this guy down. I got to stand up with him.
yeah, we got to stand up and then fuck around
Yeah,
and get knocked out and shit.
yeah,
Two
yeah.
black eyes later.
Right, right.
Exactly. Sorry, I didn't tell you.
So I got you at the end of the fight, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'm not
man.
sure. I'm not. Dude. Well, you want to let people know where we can find you at? Any social medias?
Yeah, for sure. My Insta is at NateDude_MMA. Twitter at NateDude4. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. But yeah,
All right, I want to follow you.
for sure, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. No, it was great to have you on, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nogi, why
sorry
didn't
I
you go to
didn't go
after
to the
party,
after,
man?
guys. I'm pretty sure I have a torn hamstring right now. I still have to get that checked out to see if I'm gonna have surgery or not. But if it's not, it's just pulled. I'll be back as soon as possible. But other than that, I gotta see what's up first.
Hey,
I was
take
in
your
pain,
time,
bro.
bro.
That's what's up.
Take your time and recover, man. It's no rush. You know what I'm saying? Your health is everything. You know, for real,
Yeah,
for
I've
real.
been going through some injuries already, so I definitely got to figure that out too.
Yeah, just take some time, bro. It's no rush. You know what I'm saying? You'll be that same beast, if not better. At 100%. Then,
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know.
yeah, man, for sure. That scares towards in the dark looking at. This fool.
Oh, man, free smoke.
My bad, man. This is the quiet place right now. Everybody's all loud inside.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to hide. That's where I'm going to smoke my bowl.
For real. You guys want to light up before I go?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, we'll take a toke. Take a toke before I go.
Let's do that, man. Let's do that.
All right, let me go around the top right here. Hold on.
Ain't got to tell me twice. Shoot.
So we'll cap it off with.
My kids are coming home later, so they're about to smell it, but hey, it's all good.
Shit, you're gonna take it in the perfect time and then.
Just be like, that's that organic air freshener, you know?
Yeah, it's that.
We don't use
Yep.
something.
You're like, you're welcome. Now you're about to sleep better. Like schoolboy cues, brother. Hey.
With a little bucket hat, you know what I'm saying?
Schoolboy Q is actually one of my top rappers. One of my top favorite. I feel like he's underrated. His flows are sick, videos sick, whole thing just yeah.
He truly, he is pretty nice, bro.
Did someone just put up a comment about a Bud sponsorship?
Okay, what?
Did someone just put up a comment? Yeah, we're definitely up for a Kush sponsorship. You guys definitely should look into that, man.
I mean, we
down,
might
go down on
have
the
a
train.
little segment, you know what I'm saying? A little cut segment every time, you know?
Yeah.
with the
Hell yeah. All my kids stand right over here, but get ready. Just kidding. Allegedly. All right. I don't want CPS coming knocking on my doors. That was a joke. No, just kidding.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I know Free Smoke's always smoking too. I see on your podcast. Man, I get mad. I tried joining some of the in the comments of the Free Smoke podcast, and when I have, every time I go, I'm like, oh, cool, I got the notification. It's like, oh, it just ended. I'm like, damn it.
Same, man. I always be missing the pods.
Which one you talking about?
Well, I've got a lot of the pods, honestly, like on my notification bell, but I'm just always like at the terrible timing.
Yeah.
Which one you talking about, buddy?
The Free Smoke podcast.
Oh,
The
I know
smoke.
he gets on with Prince KT sometimes, or like, yeah.
It's because sometimes it's on YouTube, sometimes it's on Facebook, and usually I think more so than not, it's on Facebook. You got to go to your page on Facebook, you know.
I give it a follow. Well, it get a little late. So if you have anything you want to say before we hit it to a commercial break, you're free to say, Mr. No Gi.
nah, nothing else. Just thank you guys for having me on, man. Continue to support me and everything, and I'll just keep putting out bangers and getting knockouts for y'all.
Yes, sir. Of course, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Sure.
It's a pleasure. And like I said, man, this man is a beast. You guys go look up this man's fights. Street Beefs West Coast, no gi. Check him out.
No Gi.
What's good? It's your homie, Freezes Christ. Y'all know the deal. Make sure y'all head on over to overtimehustling.com where you can catch all the latest merch, all the newest mags, all the media, everything, know what I mean? And you can also find me on Winging It with the homies Keith G, King Dale, and Payne Gusto. And you can catch me on Turf Tales with the homie SK. And if you got nothing to do on Sundays, even if you do got something to do, make sure you tap in the Overtime Reactions hosted by the homie Cuzzo. And I cannot forget the homie Jay over there at the Yankee and the Brit channel. So make sure y'all go over there and check them out. And hey, check me out, your boy Freezes, on that Real Talk with Jay. It was a hell of an interview, yo. Gotta do it again. I keep saying it because I mean it. We gotta do it again. I had a great motherfucking time. But anyway, you know who it is. Freezes H, OTH, Yankee and the Brit, Winging It, Turf Tales, Overtime Reactions, Chronicles Podcast. You know the drill, Cush's Corner. It's a motherfucking movement. So move with it. Or move out the motherfucking way. Simple and plain.
Overtime hustling, we hustling overtime.
Hey, it's Wedo. As some of you may know, we are hosting an event here in Arizona in December. So the goal of this event is to have as many cross-branch matches as possible, the biggest name Street Beefs has to offer. So we reached out to members of these branches, and there's a lot of interest in attending. However, much of that interest is going to be stifled because of travel expenses. Heart in the Fight is offered to step up and help fundraise. We're going to be taking donations, all of which will go towards providing as much help as possible to your favorite fighters from the OG Yard, Street Beefs Dirty South, Street Beefs Scrap Yard, and Street Beefs West Coast. We will also be selling t-shirts and other merchandise from Heart in the Fight, such as Wedo and the Mexican, Locked In, exclusive Street Beefs anniversary shirts, and of course the rare Heart in the Fight shirts. Again, all proceeds, every dollar, go back to the fighters to make sure that we provide the best matchups possible. If you're interested in pre-ordering anything, please DM myself or Danny.
What's up? Now part of your favorite segments. So now we're gonna
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
I got two very fun ones for you today. One from Street Beef Scrapyard. I have the Stallion. Now, the reason why I pick him as a fighter to watch is because his fight, he's a little bit of an older gentleman. He got in the ring. He took a couple blows, but he really looked like he had some oomph behind his punches. Now, this reminds me of Vice Grip. When he first came out, I was like, oh, this older man is going to get beat. Nope. Comes out on top, shows that he comes out here and he means business, and that age really is nothing but a number. So I want to see him get in the ring because, I mean, Vice Grip after 3, 4, 5 fights ended up knocking all his opponents out before he took a loss. So I want to see what the Stallion can do. Number 2, I have from Street Beefs, West Coast, it's Compa G. This man is well, yeah, as you hear, yeah, some kids already know it. He's a beast. I mean, this man puts the pressure on the fights. He controls the pace of the fights. I mean, just the way he is in general. I love that when he takes a step back, it's like you let go of the R2, guard goes down for a second. The minute the foot goes forward, his guard comes right back up, and he's going in there, and he's ready for action. He's nonstop, go, go, go once he's in there, but he knows how to take back, look, calculate what he wants to do. He's powerful. He's fast. Overall, I enjoy his fighting style. And he's not really mouthy, too. He's pretty mellow, it seems like, outside the ring. I don't know him personally, but just you could tell with people's demeanors even before and after the fight. So, yeah, definitely one of my fighters to watch.
Hey, all facts. And I've talked to this man several times, man. He's a solid dude, man. Solid.
Hell yeah. And I was going to say there's an honorable mention from Scrapyard King Kai because he did come out, fight Scotty Showtime, who everybody knows from the Scrapyard. This man is a beast. After a well-good fight, to going back and forth, he ended up coming out on top with a insane choke, or not a choke, submission. He had his arm completely locked out his arm bar, and he's pulling it on. You could just see Scotty's arm going to the point where he had to tap, and it was just ridiculous. So I just thought I'd let everyone hear the name a second time because he was a fighter to watch last week. So, yeah.
I like that, bro. That's fire. I like that. Great list.
Yeah, you did.
Speaking of fire, I think it's about that time.
It doesn't matter where you are in life. You got to know your worth before you can be.
Yeah. We'll be back with the Fire 5. This week we got a new list. All fire fights, all bangers. I mean, must-sees. We're going to start with the first fight. That's coming out Street Beefs OG Yard. Excuse me. Street Beefs OG Yard. That's going to be Mr. 2 from the Lou versus Butterfly. This fight right here is the definition of two technicians, two high-level boxers. It was very competitive. And if you guys know anything about Street Beefs OG Yard, Butterfly, he's an OG. You know, he's got an impeccable record, and this is a fire fight. Check it out. Again, that's Street Beefs OG Yard, Butterfly versus Mr. 2 from the Lou. All right, we're going to move on to the second fight. That's coming out of Street Beefs Scrapyard. My co-host here, the champ, Dexys versus Buddy V. You see that timestamp? Somebody got to work. Somebody got to work real quick, and it was Buddy V. This fight right here, from the very beginning, we saw Buddy come out aggressive. I loved it. Straight to the point. And then next thing you know, rear naked choke. Check that out. That's Street Beefs Scrapyard. Dexys versus Buddy V. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and move on to the third fight. And not too many people know about this one. We're going to move on to the Street Beefs West Coast branch. And that is going to be myself, Samke, versus Trill Will. This fight right here, it was in the West Coast, but the video itself is on the Street Beefs OG channel. So when you look it up, it won't be on the West Coast channel. But this fight right here, man, it was pretty competitive. I was kind of dealing with some mental things before the fight, during the fight. Got hit behind the head a few times, you know, kind of gave me a little issue there. But we prevailed. We overcame, and we were able to edge it out and get the dub. Again, this is a Street Beefs West Coast. You see it, Sam K versus Trill Will. Check that out. We're going to move on to the fourth firefight. This is coming out of Street Beefs Dirty South. We're looking at Ryan versus the Beast. I like to call this big boy kickboxing because that's exactly what it was. These men, they went to war. It was very competitive and nonstop. Both these men had that dog in them. It was shown. Again, that's Street Beefs Dirty South. You can find this fight on the original Street Beefs OG channel. That's Ryan versus the Beast. Great fight. Check it out. And last but not least, our fifth and fire fight is coming out of Street Beef Scrapyard. Caveman versus Kickstand. This was a fire fight. What we saw here was two fighters who start off, feeling each other out, and you see Kickstand play the patient game, and slowly but surely he starts to work and break down his opponent, and he executes his game by the end of the fight. It's a great work, to see him just progressively work. Again, that's a fire fight coming out of Street Beef Scrapyard. Caveman versus Kickstand. Go check that out. Sam K and the Fire 5.
When both of your hosts fight, just saying.
Say that again. You were on mute a little bit.
Oh, what's up, Scrapyard? Yeah, I said that's how you know you got a fire ass show when both of your the two hosts both get in the ring and fight themselves.
Yeah, man. People got to go check these fights out, man. I know they see our little highlights in the beginning of the show, but the man across from me over there is a monster, and the man across from him is a monster. So we got these gyms all over every branch. There's great fighters and great fights, over the years. And, that's the beauty of our show, being able to showcase that, and like Free Smoke said, that was an honorable mention. He said Thunder Pops versus Nogi. We talked about that earlier in the show, Free Smoke. That was much, that fight right there. If you were there, only if you were there, but yeah, man, what you thought of the other guys on the list, the other fights on the list, I should say?
No, I thought that was a good list. Definitely, I like the Beast too. Yeah, those big boys. I saw that fight, and yeah, I know.
It was surprising, bro. It's surprising.
See, that's why they're called Fire Fight for a reason, because all the fights are fire. You want to watch them, then you watch them a second time, I'll run that back one more time before I go to the next one.
Yep. And even if you saw it before, these fights have high replay value. So when you go to it, you've seen something fire, you're going to click the play button all over again. It just happens,
Right.
It just happens. And then check that out. Next week, we're going to have a whole new list of firefights. So, and fighters to watch. Can't wait.
One per day. Or one for, about 7 days a week. One for, that's a business week. There you go. One for every business week.
Yep. Yep.
So, any shout out you want to give?
I see you.
You see everybody, Fire Chicken, Free Smoke, Jimmy Finn, everybody else in the chat.
We appreciate y'all.
Any shout out you want to give before we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and knock those out the way. First off, I got to give a shout out to Street Beefs West Coast, Street Beefs Scrapyard, Street Beefs Dirty South, and of course, Street Beefs OG Yard. We do this thanks to y'all. I also want to give a shout out to Heart in the Fight, Overtime Hustling, and let me see. Like I said, I don't do the social media. If you got me, you got me. Definitely thank you to our guests tonight. They were phenomenal. Kai Stewart, you guys go check out his fights. That man is phenomenal with those hands. Yeah, check him out. Nogi is one of our rising stars in West Coast. Definitely go check his fights out. You saw Buddy V's on the Fire 5 tonight. You saw I'm on the Fire 5. Go check our fights out. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little love. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all in the comments. I see y'all in the chat. Hit the like button for us. You know what I'm saying? It don't take nothing to do that. But all in all, I want to say thanks to Buddy V, my co-host. I appreciate you, brother, for being on as always. And shout out to our greatest producer, Jay. You know what I'm saying? You always make a way. I appreciate you, brother. That's it.
Like you said, shout out to Overtime Hustling Magazine, Heart of the Fight, everyone that supports us. Like I said, I saw you in the chat, Fire Chicken. I'm about to be out there November. Oh man, I wanted to be out there October, but some stuff happened with family, so it was just booty. But I'm excited because I'm supposed to fight. I cracked my tooth, and I got a job I'm working on. I'm finishing this week, and I'm gonna get a bunch of money, so I'm gonna be expediting that tooth to be fixed. I'm training, so I'm gonna be in that yard. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm in there, so just letting everyone know you're gonna expect a new fight from me soon. But yeah, well, say what?
Talk your shit, champ.
Yeah. We're not gonna let little small things get in our way. I don't think so. Greatness waits for no man. So Zuel _ Buddy V for Instagram, and then Zuel-world.com for the website. I actually have some new merch about to come out in the next 2 weeks. I'm designing a couple new things. You're gonna have full color images. Not everything's gonna be black and white or white and black, this and that. You're gonna have all sorts of other stuff, different colored shirts. Shirts with all sorts of extra images on them. It's gonna be insane. Wait till you see what's released. This month, I'm not even gonna sleep because I'm gonna be working so hard. And so I want everyone to know that whatever it is you want to do in life, go do it. So yeah, if that's it, then in the words of Jay, one world, one love, deuces.